Chicago is a city that loves to eat. We're famous for Italian beef sandwiches, deep dish pizza, barbecue, jibaritos, and of course, the Chicago hot dog. And trust me, this is not any old hot dog. It has a history, an identity, and a strict ingredient list that make it stand out from your run-of-the-mill sausage on a bun. Today, we're going to break down what makes it so special, the best places to try them, and what you should never, ever put on one. It's unclear exactly when the Frankfurter came to the United States or Chicago, but we can thank German immigration for the first big hot dog craze in this city. In the mid to late 1800s, German immigration accounted for 20% of the population of Chicago and 36% of the city's butchers. With them, German immigrants brought the sausages of Western Europe. Frankfurters with snappy casings, usually made entirely from pork products. Around this time, Chicago was also the meatpacking capital of the world, with hot dog brands popping up throughout the city. And it's no wonder that these sausages were so popular. They were tasty, they were filling, and most importantly, they were cheap, with hot dog vendors becoming a staple in working class and immigrant neighborhoods in the late 1800s and the early 1900s. But the Chicago dog that we know and love today doesn't really look like what was being produced in this initial boom. So why is that? There's a couple of reasons, and also the benefit of some really good timing. In 1906, Upton Sinclair published his novel The Jungle, which demonstrated the harsh conditions that immigrants and other working people were facing in Chicago and other major cities. The Jungle also singled out the unsafe, unsanitary, and sometimes downright gross practices of meatpacking plants. At the same time, Chicago saw another major wave of immigration. This time, it was a wave of Jewish immigration. So while pork packing plants were under scrutiny and the Jewish population created demand for a kosher option, there was a shift away from the pork frankfurter of the past and towards an all-beef and therefore kosher option. And thus, Chicago's most beloved brand, Vienna beef, was born. Inspired by the spices and ingredients of the German and Austrian frankfurters, but made with all-beef ingredients, Vienna beef is still the gold standard for a Chicago hot dog today.
Vienna beef hot dogs are celebrating a big milestone. They've been a part of the city for 125 years.
So then, through the early 1900s, immigrant communities across the city added their own twist and toppings to hot dogs. Sometimes this meant hot peppers, or cabbage, or onions, or a variety of other veggies. And then, with the beginning of the Great Depression in 1929, the need for good, cheap food grew, and the hot dog went from being a snack to being an entire meal. More toppings equaled more filling, and that's how the contemporary Chicago hot dog was born. Fluky's, a hot dog stand that opened in 1929 on the corner of Maxwell and Halsted, claimed to be the first to sell the Depression sandwich, or what we now call the Chicago dragged through the garden variety of hot dogs. So how exactly do you drag a Chicago dog through the garden? Here is what you're going to need, and believe it or not, it has to be in exactly this order. A Vienna beef hot dog, steamed or charred. But if you're gonna char it, it's actually called a char-dog, served at exactly 165 degrees Fahrenheit. A poppy seed bun, yellow mustard, sweet green pickle relish, and yes, you can use the kind that isn't this bright fluorescent green, but we're making a Chicago dog, so we're really going for it today. Chopped onion, tomato wedges, sport peppers, a kosher dill pickle spear, and top the whole thing with a nice dash of celery salt. And of course, you can't forget the most important ingredient of them all. Absolutely no ketchup. Okay, but seriously, no ketchup? No ketchup at all? Yes, no ketchup. Seriously. There's all sorts of reasons Chicagoans say you should never put ketchup on a Chicago hot dog. Some people say that it would mask all of the other flavors. Some people say that with all the toppings, ketchup would be redundant. But there's even people who say that ketchup wasn't historically used because it would attract flies at Wrigley Field at ball games, or even because it was used to cover the taste of rotting meat. Ask a Chicagoan and they will give you 1 or 5 or 20 reasons why you should never put ketchup on a hot dog. In fact, the CEO of Vienna Beef, Bob Schwartz, feels so seriously about this that he actually titled his book, Never Put put ketchup on a hot dog. So even if it is your cup of tea, on a Chicago dog, you should probably go without it. Chicago has more hot dog joints than McDonald's, Burger King's, and Wendy's combined, so when you visit, you're gonna have a lot of options as to where to find that perfect dog. But here are a few suggestions just to get you started. The dogs from these places are iconic, but this doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. Chicago dog enthusiasts will go to bat for their favorite hot dog joints, so the possibilities and hot dogs really are endless. If all else fails, you can even order a Chicago hot dog kit straight to your home. There's one from Vienna Beef and also one from Portillo's, which is an iconic Chicago chain.
Hot dogs in the mail? Who doesn't want that? Sign me up.
Like all of the foods that Chicago is famous for, the Chicago hot dog is tied deep into the culture and history of the city. Whether you're grabbing one at Wrigley Field or on the hunt to find that perfect dog, the Chicago hot dog is the taste of the city. Just, don't put ketchup on it. Jeez. For even more about what cities to travel to and what to eat when you get there, head over to brighttrip.com for travel and skill-based courses to help you become the best possible traveler. And is there a hot dog place that I should be going to? Let me know in the comments. I'm on a mission to try all of the great Chicago dogs, and I will report back. See you next time.